Hi, all you SPMEs out there. The question that was sent to me today has 3 answers, and the third answer is one you're going to want to stick around for because it can cost you an awful lot of money if you get this wrong regarding vanity publishing. So the question that was sent to me was vanity publisher definition. The person who asked the question is clearly trying to figure out whether or not what they're doing or considering doing is vanity publishing. So if you publish this route, does that count as actual publishing a book, or is it just vanity publishing? So we're going to hopefully be able to explore this a little bit better today. This is Chris Baird from selfpublishingmadeeasynow.com, where self-publishing doesn't have to be so hard. Click the subscribe bell if you'd like for me to make more videos like this one, and go ahead and check in the description below and you will see my self-publishing checklist that is free that will help you get started on your journey and help you make sure you aren't missing any steps. So let's get into it. When I first started publishing, I realized quickly that I wasn't going to get some major publisher to pick me up. I just wanted to see, is it possible to get your ideas out into the world? So I started with Amazon. I wrote 1,000 words a day until I completed my very first book. I put it on the market, and the sales were terrible, is really what we had. And then I began to understand there's lots of rules to this game. But in the process, I started listening to podcasts and reading books and watching YouTube channels and taking courses and going through a whole series of things that helped me better understand what exactly I was doing right and what I was doing wrong. But one thing that I took in from some of the podcasts was people who were commenting where they were paying other people to do all of the services for them instead of, well, they wrote the book, but then all of the other services from the cover to everything else, and that they were then giving those rights over to those other people and having their books frozen and continually being milked for more and more money. And that was when I was first introduced to what exactly this vanity publishing is. So vanity publisher definition, let's get into the answers. So the first thing is that the authors pay to have their books published. Somebody else will do a lot of the work that's involved in it. That's the traditional ones. It would be if you're paying money and then they will put together everything, as opposed to the opposite way, which is you get paid. You send them the book, they put the cover and everything together, they own the rights, and then you will make the money afterwards. Now, some vanity publishers, they actually even take control over the rights of the book itself, which is terrible, a really, really bad deal. And the thing is that you lose the rights to your books. You have to pay them in order to produce all of the cover and working with the title and the keywords and the description and then the distribution and all of these things. So at one level, you don't have to consider any of that. Wow, they'll just take care of it all for you. The downside is, of course, is they want thousands of dollars, and they initially will tell you that it's only going to cost you a little bit of money, right? You pay them $1,000 or $5,000 or whatever it is, and they do in fact get the book out there, but each time they're like, well, you could get the really better cover if you just paid this little bit more, and you could have a better description if you pay more, and we could do even a huge marketing pack if you pay more. So you get in the door and you think you're only going to pay several hundred or $1,000 or whatever it might be, but then you discover your book isn't going to sell unless you do the additional packages. And the other final point here is that some of these people are serious scams because they're going to own the book itself. Now, it's one word to say scam. We just say it's a bad deal, because the fact is that if you read all of their terms and conditions, they will have, of course, have said everything. They're not doing anything illegal, but you're obviously, the reason you're going through them is because you don't want to take the time and effort to learn how to do self-publishing yourself. You don't want to have to deal with finding cover designers like you can find in the description below, where I find one on Fiverr that is a fantastic one. You don't want to do the formatting yourself. I use Jutoh. Below in the description you can see that particular tool that I use and to do it, which is amazing, and it gives you better results. You just want somebody to do it all for you, and they will do it for you. They will charge you a lot of money, and they will own the rights and the distribution and all of it, and you will get into a nightmare of trying to sue these people to get your rights back for your book. So as you can see, I'm definitely not a fan of these people. The other thing is the phrase vanity publishing is a negative. It's a pejorative, and many people don't particularly like this terminology because it's like, oh, you're doing it because you're so vain. You're not willing to put in the work to actually write a quality book that an actual publisher would pick up. Now, the problem, of course, is that the actual publishers only take a very small percentage. Usually, you have to have already proven the fact that you have a quality book, that you are going to be able to sell copies of the book, and that it's worth their time. Which, of course, can be a bit challenging if you haven't even written a book, or you don't have a blog, you don't have a following. This can be very difficult for you. And the final, so people would say vanity publishing, oh, you're so vain, you're going to publish this way. And I'm not saying this is a terrible idea if you don't have the energy and the time. You might go this route, but almost everybody I've heard of who went this route regretted it afterwards. But the secret answer for the day is you should just stay away from vanity publishing. You will have more control. You will make more money because you're not going to be sharing the money, and all the stuff goes through your own dashboards, not their dashboards on Amazon and these other locations. And you'll learn the process. Now, I know exactly why you'd be tempted to go with the vanity publishing route, and that would be because you just don't have the time or the energy. And I would say, look, if you simply don't have the time and energy, okay, fine, do it. But otherwise, in 99% of the cases, if you just use a little bit of time every day, you can work your way through the process of learning how to publish on your own. Without the help of these other people, you can fix the books later if you have issues, whether it's proofreading problems or whether you've got problems with your cover quality or even the title. I've changed this many times on many of my books where you improve and you discover, wait, I could sell more books just by changing the name of the book or the description. And so it's very exciting as you go through that process. But if you don't have the energy, then I would say, okay, fine, use a vanity publishing model. And the same, by the way, goes if you self-publish and later on a major publisher wants to pick you up, well, that's not going to be a problem because they're going to be able to, you own the rights to it. So you can sell the rights away to them, and then they can do the publishing through theirs. Now, you would get a lower percentage margin, but at the same time, you'd be traditionally published. So you have to decide in your particular case if it's worth it to you in order to get it published on a major platform. So, vanity publisher definition. What definition have you found? Is there a different definition? Maybe you've had a positive experience regarding this, or maybe you've had a negative experience. I would be very interested to hear. Go ahead and let me know below in the comments, and look up above me here for more videos that answer your self-publishing questions. Thanks.